Hello everyone. Today I'm finally getting around to posting my November bullet journal. I bullet journal a little bit differently than everyone else on the internet as I make it on one big page so I can see it all at the same time. So I'm just pulling out some pins here and I'm getting out my nice big drawing pad. I accidentally missed where I wrote in November and drew the leaf. My camera's been having some issues recently, but I just made a very scratchy looking calendar, and then I wanted to have my morning routine up in the corner, but I felt like it looked pretty strange up there, so I left it unfinished and decided to draw this tree instead. I really enjoy drawing just with one pencil and trying to improve myself in that way. So I feel like this tree turned out really well considering how little I actually draw trees. You'll see some better shots of it later. I decided that I wanted to move on pretty quickly, even though this tree took me quite a while to finish drawing. Beside it, I decided to put a list of things that I think of with November and that I want to accomplish this November. The first several are foods, so I guess I have strong food associations with different months. I don't really know. I pulled out a lot of different materials to try to make my journal a little bit more unique. I decided to write on this leaf, and I have a scrap of cloth that looks really warm and reminds me of sweater weather. I decided to write "Be mindful" on the leaf because that's something I'm trying to do more and more recently. And then on the cloth beside it, I decided to write down some of my goals for what I want to be doing more of this November. Then I just needed to glue all that down and put a little weight on the leaf so that it wouldn't curl up. I also decided to write my 3 things that I want to do every day just above this on a slant. I want to practice Japanese, stretch, and eat better every day. I finally got back to working on the good morning section. Since I put my morning routine somewhere else, I decided to put down a quote that I use to guide me a lot. It just kind of makes me feel better. And I also wrote out good morning on a different piece of paper so it would stand out a little bit more. Then I decided to put my major goal planning and the steps I need to do in order to get that goal complete over in the other corner. I really didn't know what I wanted to put there at first, but I think it ended up looking pretty good. And then I had this long, thin section beside it, and I decided that one of my main goals was to get some of my books published and finally be an author, so I decided to draw that in as well. I decided that I wanted the side to say "boy meets boy" because that's what a lot of my stories are about, and that's also a card that my boyfriend gave me that I really, really love. Then on the cover, I wrote out the very corner of the name of my book so that it just looks like a pattern. I hated how the pages turned out though. I couldn't dull the yellow enough, so I ended up gluing a piece of paper over it. Then I decided I wanted to draw a mug of hot chocolate, and I'd been trying to draw this in a couple of other places, but I knew that I couldn't draw it right. I didn't have the colors to draw it right. I only have just a few different colored Copic markers. And even though it didn't end up looking that bad, I really wanted to cover it up. So I put down this piece of lined paper, put a Yuri on Ice sticker on it, and decided that I wanted to make it a list of traits that I want to have. It took me a while to figure out exactly what I wanted to put on this though, but as I'm focusing on self-improvement, I decided that this was the right thing to do. All in all, that basically completes my bullet journal. I did leave a big open space for journaling and just put a little paper moon down there beside it, but overall I think it looks pretty good considering it's the first time that I've really done this type of bullet journal, and it just kind of reminds me of all the things that I think about when it comes to November. I did attach a couple of other leaves just around the page to fill up some empty spaces where it was too small for me to draw anything meaningful. And then I put in a couple of other little sketches like the mountains and highlighted the important dates on my calendar. And then of course I put this big quote right in the center: the noblest art is that of making others happy, because that is what I want to be living by this month. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.